Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 39 of Controllers and Coffee. My name is Elliot Porter, and I am joined by the fantastical, the wonderful Kat Gerritsen. Hello,
the very
Kat.
warm.
The very snuggly Kat
Yes.
Gerritsen, wearing an
Hello.
hoodie, representing. How are you?
Oh, so good. So ready to talk video games after our little, I don't know the right word. Is sojourn a good word? A
Sojourn
hiatus.
away from the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for putting up with the one extra week wait. We appreciate you sticking around with the channel. And while we're here, help us make the show better. I want to hear from our lovely viewers and listeners, live viewers or people who watch after the fact or people who catch the audio version over at anchor.fm/controllers and coffee. We want to make this show better for you.
Yeah.
Let us know what that would entail. Let us know how you would like to see this show get better. You can leave a comment on this video. You can follow us on Twitter and send us a DM or send us a comment or something on our latest post, either to us or on at Controllers Pod, or send us an email at controllersandcoffee@gmail.com with all your suggestions, recommendations, and things you would love to see us do
please.
on this show. For these. Now, let's get into today's show. Well, before we do, Kat, how have you been? What's going on? How's lockdown life?
Oh, lockdown has been an absolute treat. I mean, last year, my calling that I gave out to the world was, I can't wait to isolate, and it was good. But then you isolate.
Wait to isolate.
Yeah, but then you isolate, and for me, fine, because I love playing video games, but also a little boring, especially work from home. That shit's boring. Let me tell you about how boring that is. As someone who normally is moving stuff a lot, to sit at a computer all day working, that's fucking boring. But you know what?
Yeah, especially in our job, which the work from home is not work. It's just training
babysitting.
Yeah, it's micromanaging.
Yeah, but I was able to return to work in a limited fashion, and on my lunch break, I ducked down to the pharmacy, got a fucking jab in my arm. So
nice.
I'm halfway through my 5G upgrade, which is amazing. I had the absolute worst fever of my life. No joke.
Oh no! Oh no!
And that lasted like a day and a half, and then I was good. So. Jab 2 next month incoming.
You're on 2.5G at the moment.
Yeah, not even made it to 3, dude. I'm in the past. What about you? How's your time been?
It's been good. I'm actually, speaking of getting that 5G upgrade, I'm booked in for the end of next month. So,
are you getting Astral Zucchini or are you getting the fizzing?
No, I'm getting the fizzer. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I got Astral Zucchini.
Astral Zucchini. Well, there you go. You're okay. That's fine. People aren't dying.
Exactly.
I think it's pretty unlikely. But no, I've been good. I've been absolutely inundated with creative projects, which I love, but also I feel sometimes I'm like, why do I do so many things? Speaking of which, if you are watching this on YouTube, I would love for you to go and watch my latest video. It is probably one of the best things I've made, and it's getting no views. So please go and click on that. It's a top 10 list of the best backwards compatible games on Xbox Game Pass, and it's a very high quality video. It's got my good Rode microphone again, and I'm so happy to have this back because that USB microphone was really bad after realizing, oh man, my videos used to sound so good. So I would love it if you could go click on that video, share, and that would be incredible if you could. But other than that, yeah, life's pretty good. We're not in lockdown. Just like lots to think about. Trying to find a home is
Same.
really hard. Yeah.
Oh my god, I cannot the prices and the quality of the homes. Garbage. Garbage
It's stressing
beans.
me out. But you know what
God.
doesn't stress me out? What we're all here for and what the people are here to hear us talk about, which is not COVID.
Life.
Unfortunately, that's just part and parcel. It is video games, the greatest hobby known to humankind. Kat, I really want to hear about a game that I know you've been playing, which I'm tempted to play, but again, I have no time. It's called Boyfriend Dungeon, and I want to know all about it.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you. I went into this game very angry. So I wanted to finish the Ascent on my stream. I'm literally
Yeah.
I'm within the final missions. I'm very close. I've almost done
Oh,
all
wow. Okay.
except for ones that are in a specific area, so I can go all knock them out together. But every time I fucking open that game, it's worse and worse. Like, I literally couldn't get it to run, even in like a little window. Everything on the lowest quality settings, like literally a window the quarter the size of my fucking screen. I couldn't get it to run in a stable FPS. And when I like put it in Streamlabs, like 14, 16, 26 max FPS.
What?
It really
Is
pissed
it
me off.
once you start streaming it?
No, even just like it trying to
Or
capture
just
in
like
FPS.
trying to
Yeah.
capture? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
absolute garbage. It updated like 2 days ago, so I guess the update fucking ruined it even more for me, which is really depressing because it's a good game. So I tried to fix it for like 40 minutes, and then I said, "Fuck this! What else do I have downloaded? Boyfriend Dungeon." And so I went into it mad. And it immediately dissolved my madness. What a good game. Like, I don't know. It's really,
sick.
I do not like dating sims or anything like that because I find them so incredibly awkward. Like, don't talk to me like that, computer man, computer woman, computer anything. Don't fucking talk to me that way. Don't say that shit to me. But like the music on the starting screen, for one, was incredible. So immediately I was happy with it. The music throughout the whole game is really, really, really good. Like it's actually so good. I'm having such a good time just listening to it.
Kind of music?
There's a bunch of different types because you go on dates, so they have music that's appropriate for the dates. So there's like sometimes you're in a club, sometimes you're in a dungeon fighting, and you know, like so there's a big range, but the music is all really good. And they have for a couple of the songs, I think actually I may have only heard the one singer. She sounds beautiful, like really nice, and really ties it all together. The storyline is like a bit weird. I heard it's only like 6 to 8 hours long, and I'm about 2 hours in. And you can like make gifts from items like sugar and wire made a fucking cupcake. So you find all right, let me back up a second. Yeah, I know. Let me back up a second. So the premise is you go and you move to this beach and you live at your cousin's like old house because they've just moved in somewhere else, but they couldn't break their lease. So you're living in their old house and they want to set you up on dates. And so he sets you up on a date with like a fencing instructor, but the fencing instructor is a sword, like turns into a sword. Like he's a sword person. And like half the people here are sword people. So you're going around, you meet up with the fencer, you go into the dungeon, you're learning how to do dungeon runs, which are way harder than I thought they would be for something that I thought was going to be like mainly dating sim dungeon stuff on the side. Like that dungeon stuff is hard. I died a lot of times.
Yeah, right.
And then you find like another sword down there, and the sword people, the weapon people, are being like abducted, and someone is like putting them in weapon form and fucking chipping them and like breaking them and leaving them places. That's as much as I know about that mystery thus far, right? And I went on a bad date with a dude called Eric, and now he's literally stalking me. That's the
Okay.
game thus far. And he hates weapon people. He thinks they're fucking. He calls people that aren't weapon people pure, like, and shit like that. He's like real fucking weird.
Right.
But actually really enjoyable.
Mhm.
Like having a good time, having a great time. I gave this lady I met, I gave her some bracelets that I made out of garbage that I found in the dungeons. And
Okay.
she fucking loved it. Perfect gift. I did a great thing there. And I
That's
also
fantastic.
found a monster shop in the dungeon, and I went and bought a sweet pink jacket. And there was some monsters in there, and they were like, "Ugh, they let humans in here now? Disgusting. I thought this place was high class." And I was like, "Whoa." But
Whoa.
yeah, it's good. It's not what I expected. I'm having a great
Hmm.
time, surprisingly.
The dungeon crawling part, like
Yeah,
the combat part, what's it like? I've not really watched a lot. I saw a trailer.
yeah.
Is it, yeah, reminiscent of anything?
I mean, like every time you go in, it's like a random generated dungeon.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, the monsters inside the dungeon are supposed to be your insecurities. And
Okay.
so, like, when you first go in, the sword dude that you go with, Isaac, he's like, when I first went into a dungeon, all of the monsters were trucks and pickup trucks and shit. Um,
Okay.
and like, you're like, because you're scared of trucks. And he's like, no, because I have problems with masculinity. And it's like, oh, okay. And he's like, and my first boss was a monster truck. I was like, okay, whatever. If you say
Okay, good.
so.
Okay.
And then like all of the ones that I'm fighting are like flip phones and gramophones and cassette tapes and random old TVs and shit like that. I don't know.
Right.
Some
So
sort
your
of
insecurity is out of date technology.
technology. Yeah, right. So like that's pretty basic. Like you have your enemies that chase you, your TVs like shoot little static balls at you.
Mhm.
It seems really basic, but they hit so much harder than you expect, and it's really easy to get trapped and just to get stuck and get hit a lot. But you choose the weapons that you want to take with you, and like between floors, you can switch to the different weapons that you've been dating, and depending on how well
Right.
you've been dating them, upgrades their like love level to give you more abilities. Um,
Mm.
and like I don't know, it kind of feels like and looks like and is reminiscent of like a mobile game when you're doing the dungeon stuff. Like that's just what like it seems like to me, but at a much higher standard. Like I hate
Mhm.
mobile games. I just cannot get into them
Mm.
at all. I can never play them. Um but like it's actually fun. It's just really hard, and I think there's like maybe like a floatiness or an unpolish to the dungeon bit, given that it's like half dungeon, half dating. So they haven't
Mm.
put like it's no Hades. Let us say
Yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not as fancy as one might expect, but it's still good. Like it's better than I thought it would be.
Nice one. That's sick. Yeah, it seemed to get a lot of like positive reception on the internet when it first came out, like last week, and a lot of people were talking about it, which is cool. It seems like I think it's made by pretty much one
I
person.
don't know. I have no idea
I
actually.
think
I know
so.
that I can see that a lot of people would probably be very happy with it as well because it's quite inclusive. Like
Mm.
when you open the game, like you choose your pronouns and that doesn't affect
Yeah.
any of the romances or anything. But then it has other questions. I can't remember. There's only a couple, but the only one I can remember is that
About
it says, oh, I do remember. One of them is like, oh, there are going to be themes of like non-consensual
stalking.
things happening and
Yeah.
stalking and stuff like that. Just so you
Yeah.
know, if you're not comfortable with this might not be the game for you. And then it asks you, it says throughout the game, you'll receive texts from your mum. do you want this
Yes.
or not? It's like yes or no. You don't have to have text from your mum. And like all the texts that I've been getting from mum are just like, hey, how you doing? Like, I heard you went on a date. I'm proud of you, sort of thing. So they're all
I
thus far
read,
perfectly lovely, but that's an interesting option, I think, and cool.
yeah, I did read regarding, I think the creator, whose name escapes me, Tanya Short, I believe her name is. Her mum died or something like that when she was quite young, and I think she didn't want people in kind of the same position as her to feel, you know, uncomfortable at the fact that you know, your mum is messaging you throughout the game. And I think
Yeah.
it's a, you know, it's a very specific thing, but hey, I like the inclusivity. Although it has generated this like weird, like it's not good enough like vibe from a lot of people who are like complaining that it's, I can't remember the exact discourse, but it's like the content warnings didn't go far enough, even though there are like multiple content warnings for things like stalking. And then they were like, people were saying like they don't consent to what's happening in the game. And there's this whole thing, like it could have been a topic we covered for about half an hour on the podcast, because it was like, when is content in a game like necessarily needing your consent to exist? And people kind of, it was like people were taking it way too far, because it had these content warnings at the start to begin with, and I think that was inclusive, but it was like it didn't go far enough for some people. It was very confusing.
I'll
but
be interested to, once I've played the game, have a look into that actually and see where that's coming from, because like like as far as I can see, like most games, regardless of whether they have like consensual or non-consensual like themes in it, I don't really like, no other games really come to mind as giving you a warning, like apart from the fucking like the PG/MA/R rating on the box. Like that's your warning. That's your that's
exactly. Yeah, around like themes or violence or drug use or whatever it might be. I would be interested to hear your thoughts further on that. If you find, it was just something I kind of scrolled past on Twitter and I was like, what is this weird discourse? What a surprise. Weird discourse on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out. I'll finish the game because it is fun. I might not finish it on stream because it's just a bit of fun, just a light-hearted game. But like I'll play it some more and I'll see if I can find out where I think, you know, either they've gone wrong or people have, you know, taken it a bit too far as they can do.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I want to talk about two games. So do you have any other games that you want to talk about real quick before we move on?
I've been playing two other games. I forgot to tell you one of them when we were talking earlier. Sorry.
Let's go. Nah, I'm excited.
Started playing. This is going to be so left field, especially considering what we talked about the other week, types of games you never play. I have been I've been playing. It's not what you expect.
F1 2020.
FIFA. No.
Yeah. Madden 25.
I've been playing Bless Unleashed, the MMO.
Oh. Nice one. Nice one. How is it?
Look, it's fine. Like I've been having a great time. Well, all I can tell you is that I'm playing a little dude called an Ippin. And like there's 4 races. I think there's like 5 classes. And depending on, or 5 or 6, which class you are locks you into the different races. So I'm a Ippin Crusader. And the Ippins are these tiny little non-gender conforming, like they don't have any gender at all, just these little guys. I put all my sliding scales down to small. It has a really in-depth like character creator, so I am like the tiniest little dude. I'm like smaller than your fucking shin. Like I'm so tiny. I gave myself a giant red bowl cut, really and my name is Mushy Mush. And I run around as a little mushroom. Some people are literally like almost 12 times my height. but like it
That's
plays.
so sick. Are your weapons like massive?
No, they're kind of scaled for me, so I'm really just small. I'm just so
Totally
small. Yeah.
That's sick.
But it's more third person camera view.
Yeah, I was just looking at the screenshots on Steam. Looks really cool.
Yeah, it is
Looks
really cool.
decent.
And you know what? There's not a million buttons. There's like
Yeah,
there's
that's the first
6.
thing I look for in the screenshots. Is like, oh, there's not 800 hotkeys and
Yeah, there's 6 buttons, so I can play it. So I've been
nice.
playing that with a friend from work. We've been just following the story. Like, I don't ever see us, you know, doing end game grinding or anything like that. But it's fun to run around and we have like ostriches that we ride around on and random shit like that. That's pretty
Amazing.
cool.
That
The
is
other
cool.
game that I played is Humankind. Finally came
Oh
out.
yes, that's right.
Finally.
Yeah, this is
Oh my
that
God.
4X.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And you know what? I don't play
How is
any other 4X. Like the
This
closest
is two of those
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
genres that we said we never play.
Right, except for Civ. Like I've played a bit of Civ. I like to play Civ with like multiplayer, not by myself. Only like with friends. But I played it. Man, are those games so fucking confusing. What is wrong with their tutorial system? They don't have a tutorial. They have like a half tutorial while you're playing. I was so annoyed because they'd be like, oh, here, choose your fucking religion thing, like whatever. And they're like, this will dictate your religion for X amount of time. But you don't need to worry about that. For now, just pick one. And like, it's like, but I do need to worry about it because I have to pick one. And they're like not explaining half of what it is. So I went into the tutorial game and I played it for a while. I played it into the 3rd phase. Like you get era stars. So I played it into the 3rd era. And I was like, nah, like this fucked. I cannot. I don't know what's going on. I think I've really fucked some shit up. I'm like in war, but I've got like 2 dudes. And the other person is like mounting up against me. I was like, I don't even understand how this happened because like they were being a bitch to me, and then they like withdrew their demands, asked for peace, and then declared war on me. Like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. What's going wrong? So I quit it, left it for a day, went back, started a new game. I was like, all right, I'll try again. But there's no tutorial anymore. They're like, you've had it once. No more. You don't get it again.
Dogs.
So I just had to play it and fucking figure it out. Luckily, because of playing Civ, I had some idea on what was going on. And I made the map the biggest map possible, which I always do, which is so stupid because there's too much going on. And I accidentally played against an expert rival and one other person. But luckily, I was in the southern hemisphere and they were in the northern hemisphere. And I had like a whole continent almost to myself. They both had like one little outpost each on my island, and I fucking crushed them into the ground. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then I won the game twice because I won it by getting to Mars, and then I was like, no, I want to win it for running out 300 turns. So I kept playing, and then I finished the tech tree, or the tech tree, which you research. Yeah. And then after I finished that tree, you can't continue again. They're like, nah, you finished the game. So I didn't even get to run out the 300 turns. I was only like 15 turns off.
Wow,
but
seems,
I got heaps of sweet achievements. Like I never gave in to a war demand and all this sort of shit. So I felt great, and I probably won't pick that game up again for 6 months, if not more.
Well, I mean, once you go pro, what's the point, you know?
Yeah, like, I mean, I beat the expert player. There's nothing more I can do. But it's kind of cool because when you play the game and you win, well, I don't know if you have to win, but like after the game, you unlock.
I don't know if you have to win. I only won, so
I only won. So how would I know? But you unlock these like tags, like I was, let's just say, because I never gave into a war demand, I got like a stubborn tag sort of thing, and so like you can apply that to your own avatar, and then other people can play against your avatar. And so like you apply like I think 5 or 6 things, which will dictate how your AI character would play against someone else. And it gives like each different thing gives you stars as to how hard your character would be to play against. So like I had one that my ones didn't make sense. They were like very trusting, but doesn't make new alliances, but loves to spread out everywhere and like form deals and like shit. So like an absolute piece of trash AI that you would play against if you wanted to put that in the game.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the fuck? This bitch just traded all her oil to me and then she stabbed me. But it was actually really, really nice. And I really liked the way that you could choose between like each era, you can choose a different civilization that you're following. So when I got to like the modern, like the now era, I think it was called like the future era or something. I chose Japan because it had the best stats that I wanted. But it like alters everything you've already previously built. And so when I was like building my city, I could zoom in and there were little like Gundams standing around my city.
Oh, what?
It's so good. Like the
That's sick.
It's really nice. It's really pretty. Like you can always zoom in, see little dudes with their horse and carts just running around. Like I loved it. It was really good. Oh, and I bombed a place. That was sick. Like no one was at war with me, but I thought I want to try to bomb this place.
Just nuke him.
Donk.
That's incredible. Good shit. All right. Welcome, Jimmy. Good to see you around these parts, mate. Thank you so much. Welcome, Shred. Welcome, Laz. And welcome, Zach Robinson, new viewer there. Can't wait for Gamescom. We will get to all that exciting stuff very soon. That sounds really cool, Kat. I don't know if I could put in that time to a 4X game. They take so much effort.
It took me all day. Like I was playing it from early in the morning. I looked at my phone. I was like, oh, it's lunchtime. And I thought to myself at about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and I was still playing this game. And I was like, man, I hope I can finish this by 3 o'clock. I was not finished.
She was not finished by 3 o'clock.
But it was still good experience, but probably won't play again for a long time.
Fair. Thank you, Jimmy. You I can't even see you, but I know you're looking great as ever. So nice to see you
always
in the chat. And Laz, always with the cheeky comments. All right, let's
what can I say?
Let's move on to a brilliant little game I want to talk about. Brilliant game. Art of Rally. I know it's a racing game and all I ever do is talk about racing games, but my God, is this game not fantastic?
It's your archetype.
It is really my archetype. Laz and I actually went out last night and grabbed a burger, went out for dinner and chatted shit about video games. And we were looking through my history of all the games I've played on the Xbox. And man, I have played a lot of racing games, like so many.
Tell me my God. Really.
Racing games and Guitar Hero. It's like my whole my whole life. It's so funny. It is just like so peaceful. For one thing, speaking of really good music, you're saying there's good music in Boyfriend Dungeon. Man, good. Art of Rally is just synth wave bangers.
Oh, well, I do love that. Let me just download that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to put that in the old Spotify. It's so good. And like, the music's made by like some producer who's got like no social media presence or anything, but man, he's just like so underrated. Really good. Nice. I can't think of his name right now, but I will share it. But it's like really sweet. Like it's got a sick art style. It's so minimal, but it's got like really pretty like lighting and stuff like that, and like really chill landscapes and stuff. But the cars are really cool. So they're like, there's no brands or anything like that, but they're all like, you know, copies of real cars. So
yeah, inspired.
Instance, yeah, and they've all got like funny names, like for instance, like the anything German is like Das something. So like the 911 Porsche 911 is like Das 119, and like there's BMWs that are like Das Whip and stuff like that. It's so good. And then there's the Das Uber Whip as well, which is like the super, super fast one. But it's really cool. So you go through every year from like 1967 to, no, I don't know, 1996 or something like that. Each rally is a new year. And so like you do
a lot of rallies.
That's a lot of rallies. So you do like older cars first, and they're slower, and then like Group D, Group C, Group B, which is like a real class of rally cars that kind of like they were like really crazy powerful and really unsafe, and it got banned in like a year or two after Group B existed. It like got shut down because people kept dying and stuff. In the opening of the game, there's this bit, and it's like you're in front of this massive like Buddha statue, and it's like in a parallel world where Group B never ended. It's like, you're competing in these rallies and stuff like this. So it's like, it's really hilarious. But all the cars have like a cool little description about them, which is actually in reference to a real world thing about that car and like the history of the rallies and stuff. So it's like really cool for fans of cars in general and rallies specifically to kind of see all these cars, because you can, as soon as you see like a certain car, you're like, oh, that is exactly that car. Like even the paint jobs and stuff are like reminiscent of the old rally paint jobs from back in the day. So it's just like super cool, super fun. Like it's really hard because it's proper handling and stuff. It's not super simulator like, but it's not arcadey. Like you have to actually really be careful when you're on the road. Sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just crashing everywhere. And it's really fun.
You're a pro,
addictive as hell. I'm just a rally pro. Yeah, good game. Really fun, really peaceful and super chill.
I'm keen to check out this friggin' soundtrack.
Yeah. Even just like watch a video of like the game in action with the music would be so nice, because if you don't want to play it, you can still experience the very pretty visuals of it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll give it a go, but it depends on many factors that you don't get to know about.
I don't think you'd have a good time playing it though. That's for sure.
Easy then.
It's absolutely not. Just watch a video of the soundtrack with the gameplay. But that's cool. It's like you do a few races in Kenya, and there are like really low poly zebras and giraffes and elephants and stuff all over the landscape. And there's like Japan's got all cherry blossoms and stuff. I love
Japan.
It's very cool. And then there's like, because in rally, people used to like stand right on the side of the road, and as the car would come, they'd all kind of get off the road and you'd fly through them. They're all like just like a square with a circle head, like they look like a little block man, and they really remind me of in Wii bowling, how like they accidentally throw the ball behind you, they all like jump and spin around. Like, they look like that pretty much, and they will get out of your way. But yeah, it is very peaceful, very cool. Highly recommend. Nice. It's funny, all these games are on Game Pass. What a surprise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I can just download it and try it and not worry about it because it's on Game Pass. Exactly. And another game that you can download and try, and it's on Game Pass, and I know I'm ready. I am so, I don't know how I feel about this game still, is 12 minutes. Have you finished it? No. Okay. It's hard. How far in are you? I don't know. 12 minutes times 12 10? Minutes. Yeah, I think I've done probably about like, I don't even know. 20? Yeah, 20. Loops? Oh my God. And like, I think I've got like, that's a big number. I think I've got like a lot of it.
And I just am stuck. And like everyone I've spoken to has played it is like, yeah, you get stuck. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Oh, like,
And
are you trying to figure out like what thing you need to do, like what order of events you need to go next?
yeah. I don't know if you've like watched any content about it or anything like that. It's very strange. And I like premise, the idea that it is 12 minutes of time just constantly looping and there's nothing like I've gotten to the end of the 12 minutes and it just resets and like, you know, you die a lot and things go wrong and no spoilers, but there's like some really fucked up decisions you can make. But it's a little obtuse.
Is it kind of like puzzly?
Yeah, it's like it's pretty much a point and click adventure game. So like,
well, I do like those.
Yeah, and like there's stuff you can pick up, and then you can like interact with them, like with things that you pick up, with other things you pick up, or with your wife, or with the cop that comes to your house to arrest your wife.
Fluffy bitch.
And I'm at this point, like, I know the order of things to do something very specific and then get to a point where it's like, okay, but where's this? And I'm like, I don't know. And I have like, 2 to 3 minutes to try and work out where it is. And if I don't, I have to do it again. And like it's such an interesting thing. And I'm glad that it exists. And I really want to finish it because it might be one of those things where I'm like overthinking it or I don't, it's just really frustrating.
Are things gated? Like, could you accidentally, like by some miracle, get the exact right solution the first time, or are things gated?
I think I was thinking about this actually today. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you could finish it in one play, in one like loop. Yeah. Because there's nothing. The only thing that kind of carries over,
because I know I will play it, even though I'm not incredibly excited for it. I'd like to experience it. I haven't seen anything about it, so I don't really understand. I guess if it's like a story puzzle where like you have to come to a stopping point, or if it's just a puzzle that you figure out.
Yeah, I think maybe not in one, because I guess you learn something the first time it happens. You like, that's a really good question. I might once I finish the game, I might like restart it and see if I can do it in one.
Just do
one. Because that's a really interesting point. But I think there's a couple of things you maybe learn in the first time that you would need to know to be able to answer the question. But I guess if you know where everything is, like,
I see. Like narrative decisions where like your character can't know enough to answer the question until they learn something. Okay. That's interesting. So narrative stoppers, that makes sense. That makes more sense than anything else, I guess.
And it's very clever, but I have one big issue when I was writing down what I do and don't like about it. Like, I do like the fact that you're kind of discovering shit on your own, and there's literally no tutorializing, there's no hand holding, and I think it's a positive and a negative in a way. But I think it's a good design decision, and I think it's cool that you think like, can I do that with that item? And you usually can. And I think that's cool. But I have one big issue with it, and it's the game's biggest draw, and that is the actors.
Is it Willem?
It's hey, welcome, Sean. They're all, I don't think they're good at, I don't think they played the parts well. And this is a discussion I want to move on to
now
with
we're
this.
moving into a new discussion. I like it. Good segue.
I like all three of those actors. I like James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem.
Love
I think
Willem.
they're fantastic actors. But like, I don't like their
Green
performances in this. Yeah. Yeah. And Willem Dafoe is like been in video games and shit before, but
Yeah, what was
I
that?
don't know.
One nobody likes.
Yeah,
Souls?
Beyond Two Souls, which I loved. I love that game.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Nobody likes it. Daisy Ridley's, I think, is a better performance because her character resets every time. So it's like her voice lines are very limited to begin with, but like she doesn't know things are changing, like things are looping. But there's also like, I think, limited dialogue that she says. I think there should be more dialogue. But James McAvoy, I think it's a shit performance. Like, to be completely brutal. Yeah.
I really like James McAvoy. Like
Me too.
Things that I've seen him in. So I'm very interested to actually watch that because I think he's a really good actor. But when I think about it, like a lot of the things that he's been praised for is like the physical acting ability. Like what's that one where he played like all those different people? Was it Split or something?
Split. Yeah, I've never seen that.
Oh, like a weird movie, but he does like physically embody multiple different people so well. And like he was like, everyone thinks he did an amazing job as that character, but you know, the high praise comes from the physical ability of sorry, my arms are inside now. It comes from the physical ability of acting, not necessarily the vocals, and obviously that's a part of it. But if you take like his astounding physical ability out, I'm interested to experience what you're speaking about.
Yeah, there's certain bits where I'm like, you wouldn't like, because it's a loop, his responses to things are the same from loop to loop, when it's like you wouldn't say that same thing if you'd just done it 10 times, or if you'd just done it twice, you would have a different response.
Like, oh, my favorite cup. Be like, my favorite cup. Oh, there's my fucking cup, you know? Like,
yeah, and like there's and I hesitate to go into detail because of spoilers, and because I haven't had this game spoiled for me, and I think it's really good to go into this game completely blind because it's like you're learning a lot. And it's funny because some people hate it and some people fucking love this game.
I'll see what I think.
Some like really hate this game. But yeah, I really am not enjoying his performance, and he's essentially the key character because you are him. And some of the lines are like, why didn't they record that? Even if it was the same line, but just recorded with different inflection and and like, there's also not enough dialogue options to respond, because it's like, why aren't you asking this question in a different way? Why are there only these 3 things I can say, and none of them are actually what you would do or say if
you're in a time loop
or alone? Yeah.
I'm getting annoyed without even experiencing it, because I feel like, you know, time loops right now aren't a rare thing to see in games. And often if you are playing in a time loop and you're experiencing the same thing over and over again, your questions might be or your answers might be exactly the same, but they get angrier and angrier or more and more desperate every time. So the wording just changes so slightly, but you know that you're having the same conversation every time. And if it doesn't do that, then I'm pre-annoyed.
Yeah, because like, exactly, like he should be getting like really stressed out about it, but he's almost getting angry at his wife about something that she doesn't even know is happening. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I hate that when you're like someone's clearly in a time loop and they start blaming the people around them for not knowing, and it's like, you know, they're not in the loop. Like,
yeah.
that's so simple.
It's a bit frustrating.
I'm interested to play now. I'm very interested to see.
Yeah,
how I feel about that.
I'm gonna try and finish it because like there's clearly like something. I think I've found every item, and I think I've found like a process, but there's something I'm missing in there. There's something like there's one thing that I can do in the room that I'm like, why can I do that?
Yeah.
Why can I actually do that? It doesn't make any sense. And look, that's cool. That's fine. But I'm kind of annoyed about it because I really want to finish it. And it feels like one of those, you know, old school games where it's just like, you just have to fucking work out this weird process to complete this thing. And that's cool. I think it's clever.
Cool in its own way.
Yeah, cool its own way. But I want to ask you regarding this, like what
we've touched on it before, right? This
we have talked about this before, but like what is the benefit of having, you know, big name Hollywood talent in video games when there are so many incredible voice actors in the world?
I don't think that there is a benefit unless you're looking for a really specific voice. And the one that comes to mind is the one that you mentioned to me privately earlier as Christopher Judge as Kratos. Like that is such an like his voice on its own is like it's on a different level. Like even to voice actors, like not many people can emulate that sort of thing in a game. And like when you watch the God of War documentary on the making of it, you see how you know, many people they went through trying to get the right voice for this character and the right like actor. And obviously in that case as well, there is mocap acting, so you know,
true
might be better to have an actor than a voice actor, or like have two separate people, like one person that acts and one person that voices, because then it can become a bit disjointed. But I think, you know, like those are the two exceptions. You have a voice that you need to fit, and the voice actors you're finding aren't it, and maybe, you know, someone like Christopher Judge is the right voice. Like that's a specific need, or that your mocap actor is the voice because you need that sort of connection there between the actions and the words. Otherwise, I don't see the point. Voice actors are a job for a reason. You would be paying so much more premium price for like your regular actors. I don't know what to call, like movie actors. Like they have such a high like premium on them when you're not even using a large portion of their talent. Like you may as well pay that amazing sum to like a
Jennifer Hale,
voice actor or actress that is used to delivering their lines with the emotion that's needed, as opposed to having like a full embodiment.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more. And I was just looking at Christopher Judge's IMDb, and he's T'Challa in the new Avengers expansion for Black Panther, which is really cool. I didn't know that. But he's also done, he was Magneto back in on the X-Men show, and he's done a bit of voice acting before, but he's also an actor. But like he was just so good as Kratos, you know.
Oh my God.
And then the other person I put in when we were talking earlier is like Mark Hamill, but again, he's a superstar because of Star Wars. But like he's not in that many movies, but he's in so many more things as a voice actor. And like you know, he's
like transitioning
the Joker.
Actor, then
for sure. But I don't see Daisy Ridley, you know, becoming a voice actor. And the thing, like I'm not entirely impressed with Daisy Ridley's performance either. And it's almost like they just didn't record enough voice lines. Like there's not enough.
I mean, when you're paying for such premium actors, you can only get 7 lines.
Maybe that's why the game is only 12 minutes long. Yeah, like also I think is she British or is she
Don't
actually
ask me.
American?
Let me look it up for you. You continue your point, and I'll look it up
Um
for you.
I think
English.
yeah, she would sound so much better if she was British in this because she has real like American accent, and I just don't like the way she sounds in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like does I think in the case of 12 minutes potentially it helps advertise the game, but
Yeah.
like do you think that do non-gamers look at that and go, I'm going to play this weird indie game
No
when they
way.
see that there's like big like talent in the game?
I don't think so. I think maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they're like looking for all those Star Wars nerds to play their game. And they're like, oh, not that many people like her from Star Wars. Like, nobody
No.
likes the sequels, and they fucking hate the actors in it. But, like, I don't know. I don't think I could ever be convinced to buy a game for a voice actor that I wasn't already interested in. You know, like I would not buy 12 minutes. I'm playing it because it's on Game Pass, which is great. You know, other people obviously would buy it, but even if like my favorite voice actor was in it, I'm still not gonna buy it. Like,
yeah, that's a good point
Souls,
as well. It's like even if it was, I don't know, Nolan
Gideon
North,
Emery
Ali Hillis, and Gideon Emery all together.
would not
Actually,
buy
I'd
it.
probably fucking buy that. That sounds amazing.
But like, I feel like
yeah,
it's such a weird like draw point. Like there's even though voice actors and actresses can be so integral to a game, obviously they can make or break the characters very easily. Like it is not something I consider when I buy a game.
yeah,
Same as I wouldn't
it's
be
a
like,
nice surprise sometimes when you're like, oh, that's whatever,
yeah,
and then
I
you're
never
like,
looked
oh,
into it.
yeah.
Me playing Destiny, that's Gideon Emery.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever like the reason why you buy a game. Even though like when I hear a voice actor I love in a game, I'm always just like, oh, this is like it's like comfort. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best feeling. But they're always voice actors. They're never actors. Like
No.
look at fucking Peter Dinklage.
Dinklebot.
You know?
He got fucking kicked to
Dinklebot.
the curb.
He literally got recast.
That's rough. That is so rough. I mean, he also had a rough go of it because they told him to be like an emotionless robot, which he did, but then nobody liked that anyway. So a big rippy there. But like, look, I'm not very into actors or anything like that. I can't name like most actors that regular people would be able to name because it's just not something that stays in my head at all. But I don't think any actor being in any game would convince me to buy it, you know? If I wasn't already going to buy it, too bad. Like, unless it cost me $1.
Fair. Yeah, and like I'm the same. I don't watch any movies really. And like most people like actors, I'm like, I don't even know who that is. But funnily enough, voice actors, as soon as I hear their voice, I'm like, I know exactly who that is. Like,
it's funny because I can normally tell people by a voice. Like if I'm watching a movie and I'll see someone's face, I'll be like, I don't know if I've seen them before. Like do not recognize, but I'll hear their voice. And I'll be like, that's the guy that plays, this character in this thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember by the voice only. And still I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's an interesting, and I think what I was going to say before is I think the reason why he's got these three big names in 12 minutes is because it is very much like inspired, like or something like that, very much like a movie, like inspired by film. Like it's a game inspired heavily by film. The logo, like the key art for the game is like super Hitchcock like. The carpet on the floor when you walk out of the lift at the start of the game before getting into your apartment is the carpet from The Shining. And like and like it's very much like this guy's clearly a big fan of film, and like he wanted those big actors in his game, and hey, more power to him. But I wish their performances had been more like convincing, especially James McAvoy. I think I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if anyone agrees with me on this either. Like, I don't know if this is a talk that's happening online, because I'm too scared to look up the game at all, because I don't want spoilers. But as soon as I finish the game, I'm going to be like, is this good? Is this good voice acting? I don't know.
Voice acting. Let's see. I'll just see if I can find anything.
And Tash, it is a legit superpower. It is my one superpower, being able to call a voice actor by one syllable. Their voice.
Just like, oh, that's them. I don't see anything. Oh, yeah, I don't see anything about.
Try not to spoil the game for yourself.
No, there's no spoilers here. It's a lot of things saying, it's an indie thriller. These are the people that are voice acting in it.
Yeah.
Although,
I think you'd have to write.
Here we go. I got a headline. No spoilers in this headline, but it's great. 12 minutes review, a game that feels like an eternity. That's all. From what you said, I can see that.
All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about Jeff Keighley, Papa Jeff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about big old Papa Jeff Keighley.
Yeah.
And Gamescom 2021 opening night live is happening. It's like Thursday morning at...
It had a terrible time for us. 2 a.m.
Terrible time. Yeah, I think it is 3 o'clock my time. So yeah.
Yes, 2:30.
3:30 for you, and
whoops, wrong way.
Now it goes till 5:30, so it's probably like 2 hours of pre-show bollocks.
2 hours of faff.
Yeah, 2 hours of faff. But I thought let's do the old fun video game thing. Let's speculate. Let's fucking speculate a little bit. Talk about some spectacular speculation. Let's talk about. So the opening night live is on Thursday morning, but I actually think that Xbox's thing is tomorrow morning.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Opening night, my ass.
Yeah. Sucker, Jeff, you little bitch. This is what you get for being a dick about Halo last year. Remember, I just want to bring this up as much as I can, but do you remember when they showed Balan Wonderworld at the Xbox games showcase last year, and Jeff Keighley and all his fucking super what's the word sycophants were like, oh my god, Balan Wonderworld. They wouldn't shut the fuck up about it, and now that game has like a 30 on Metacritic. I just want to say fuck you to all you fucking sycophants that were like sucking up Jeff's asshole because he was like, this guy made Sonic. It's like, yeah, and Sonic's shit too. So anyway, just wanted to get that out because I think about that. That lives rent free in my head. That whole like
year-long debacle, and it's just like living up there. That's
I sometimes think
you gotta get that shit out.
I know. I think sometimes should I just make a meme video, and it's just so much effort to get and collate all that footage and then put it together. But I think it'd be worth it, even a year on. Anyway, let's talk about Gamescom. Let's have some predictions. And people in the comments, please give us your predictions for Gamescom opening night live or for the Xbox upcoming showcase as well. Kat, kick us off with something.
I'm going to kick us off with something that you wrote down because it's mine. And
I know it was yours. And it's like hugely rumored, and I couldn't not put it there, but I knew you were going to come.
Elden Ring, come on. Woo! We got to see something that, you know what I'm really, really hoping to see? I don't give a fuck what they show, to be honest, because my hype for the game, it cannot be subsided. I don't know if it can even go higher. So whatever they show me, it doesn't matter. But I would love to see a pre-order package, like a deluxe edition.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the big old like
trailer. Yeah, and then
armed dude
boom!
statue.
Yes, that is literally. I'm like every week. I'm like, is there any news? Typing away on my keyboard. Where's the fucking Elden Ring Deluxe Edition? When can I pre-order that shit? I need it, and that's what I really want to see. I want to see a little bit of footage, whatever you want to show. I'm happy to see it. I'll have a great time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then show me the pre-order stuff. Show me what I can get when I give you all my money. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Well, there's like apparently the nominees for the Gamescom awards have already been announced or something.
Yeah, and fucking Elden Ring's in it, but
yeah,
like, the game's
it's
not
nominated.
Out.
It's nominated
Best
for like
PS4/PS5 title. Like, how?
That's so
you know what?
stupid.
If it wins before it's out, I'll fucking I don't care. Like any other game that wins that, I would be mad if it hadn't come out yet. But for Elden Ring, I'll allow it.
Oh look, it's gonna win everything. So don't
Just
worry.
from hype votes, it doesn't matter.
It definitely deserves it. Shred in the comments with a good pick. Haven't thought about this one for a while. The Wolf Among Us 2.
Whoa!
That is a good pick. I think that's one of those kind of games that is probably more likely to be in this than anything that I have here.
Probably Prime.
Very good call. Long time coming, and I think they spoke about it at some point, but very good call. Love that, Shred.
That's good.
All right, I've got one. One. I mean, okay. So I'm just gonna say one that I think is like pretty much confirmed, and that's there's gonna be a Saints Row reboot.
You think
which
it's a
they
reboot?
like post. Well, they posted a picture on their Twitter, which and it says rebooting.
I guess that makes sense then. If it says rebooting, it makes sense. But I had not seen that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So they. Jesus Christ, Jeff Keighley, could you tweet more?
Geoff. God.
Oh my God, I'm getting pop-ups. Fuck off.
Oh,
Malware pop-ups. All right, Jeff Keighley. 5 days until Gamescom opening night live on Wednesday. We are oh fuck you, PC gamer. Dick. We are bossing it with our announcement this year. And it's
yes, I didn't see that it said rebooting. I saw the play button over it, and I was like, I can't read what that says, and interesting. Why is bossing it in fucking?
I don't know. I'm guessing that's a
I'm guessing it's like a tag,
a reference.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And
look, to be honest,
but not a ton.
Yeah,
not enough to remember that.
I'm not into it, to be honest. It's not, it's nothing that special. But
yeah, maybe it's
that's
game.
cool. Whatever. Give us. I got a real one though. I got a real one. So, Chorus.
Oh,
I think we could see Chorus. Tash is a big fan of yes, you will definitely play that, Tash. Saints Row. I know you're a big fan of that crazy action. Chorus. So
about that.
I think most people did, but the other day, Deep Silver Fish Labs, I just wanted to give it a surprise, at DS Fish Labs on Twitter have been like, I didn't follow them. Apparently nobody follows them. They have really terrible engagement on their posts. That is awkward. But they've been posting a lot. And then on August the 16th, I was like, oh, why am I getting this notification? It's like a suggested post. And they said, We're taking a short break from posting, but we won't be quiet for long. In the meantime, check out our last community update, which was from May, which I also didn't realize happened in May.
I got that. As
Did you?
fucking suggested, and I just ignored it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Moving on.
Weird. How crazy.
How weird.
That is really weird.
Yeah.
Because I follow Chorus, but it wasn't even from Chorus. It was from Deep Silver Fish Labs. But I'm like, it still says on the Chorus, the game Twitter, it still says coming 2021. And it is damn beautiful, that game. And I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think that would be a cool little surprise to see. Because it's like, it's not a huge game. It's a bit of a double A. It could, have a bit of potential to be at opening night live. And I was trying to go through last year's showcase, and there was a lot of smaller stuff.
There was heaps of small stuff, which is why, I found it really hard to think about what we would see this year, because so much of it is just like small little thingies that I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna see that again, and like I'm not gonna guess a fucking new small little thingy out of thin air. I'm very interested to see anything from Bethesda. I don't know what, I don't know what's next on the block to show off, because we saw the tiny little Starfield little blip.
Yeah, and I don't think
they'll things they're working on. I just don't know what we would see. But
yeah, we know what Arcane are doing. I mean, I don't think there's going to be anything ridiculous at the Xbox showcase. Shred might be onto something here with a Scorn update at Xbox, because that's kind of, I think, something they're going for, is like smaller things. Aaron Greenberg.
Didn't they say there was going to be no huge announcements or anything like that? Like nothing big, nothing fancy. Which is a great way to hype up your fucking conference, idiot.
And this is another thing I was thinking about, was like, I hate the video games industry sometimes. Like, I hate what we have become as gamers, because companies shouldn't have to temper expectations before every fucking thing. Sony have to do it, Nintendo do it, Xbox do it, fucking everybody does it.
Come down.
So Aaron Greenberg running about 90 minutes and focused on game updates coming this year. So to set expectations, no new reveals or major surprises, but fun stream with our amazing hosts, Paris and Kate Yeager. So I think we might I think it won't be anything crazy, because they're showing so much of this game already, but maybe we'll see something new from Forza. I'd really want to see more Halo, but I don't think there's going to be a trailer. Although what I would really like is a single player gameplay reveal 2.0 kind of thing. But then they'll probably talk about Grounded. They'll probably talk about Sea of Thieves upcoming content. They'll probably talk about literal updates.
Isn't there as well for Bethesda? They have that. I just had to look up what the name was. Sorry, it took me a while. They have the Into the Starfield episodes that they're going to be bringing out. Do you reckon they could maybe show off a bit of the first one of that or something?
Oh, that would be cool.
I think that could be cool, because it's more about the creation of the game, right? And I think that could be an interesting way to continue the hype of it without necessarily having to show more of it, because they clearly don't want to show much.
Yeah, but then I wonder if would they keep that for an Into the Starfield video on its own, just kind of, because I think, and this is again just the pain of video game fans, they just be like, this isn't good enough, and Xbox must be very much aware of that. But it'd be cool to a development update or something I don't know. I think that
I feel cool. For some reason I feel like something's there. I don't know what, but something. You know what we will see though? Something that you don't want to see. Another Sable trailer. That's definitely coming. That's coming. That's due.
No!
Another
Yeah.
Sable is definitely due.
I mean, that game is literally about to come out, and they'll probably be like, this month on Game Pass, Sable.
You know what I'd like to see?
Oh my God. Sorry, you continue. I'm just going to show you what a Sable is.
Oh. PlayStation haven't announced that they're doing like a state of play around it yet, have they? I don't think so.
No.
But I want to see. I want to see fucking Bloodborne on PC. That's what I want to see. It's so cute! Except for that picture in the middle, which I think is just a bunch of dead ones.
No, I'm not clicking on that.
Thank you. Oh, they're so cute. Look at their paws. So look how big that fucking bitch's paws are. There's just like little nuggets. I love them.
Can't that game just be you playing as one of them?
That would be nice.
Heaps
maybe
better.
Maybe in a mod. Maybe in a mod. Yeah,
the photorealistic Sable. I feel bad for the developers, like when I just rip on them for their game, but
I feel bad every time I say something negative about any game, but this is my opinion only. You know, don't take it for anything.
True.
But yeah, I wanna know when the corresponding state of play is. I hate that every time we do this sort of stuff, we have to think, is there or will there be a state of play? I miss everything being together.
I know. I was writing a blog today. Everyone should go read my blog about that pretty much. And I just made me think man, why isn't Sony at the party anymore? Like, why?
It just is kind of annoying because when I think of these events, I start to think about I don't just think about the companies that are going to be there. I start thinking about everything that I'm excited about in gaming and what I want to see regardless. And then eventually part of it will be in Sony or Nintendo somewhere along the line. And they're just not fucking there. Ruined.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shit. Really?
Get on the party train, idiots.
Dogs. Shreds.
They're not good. They're not a good format. I don't care. Your Nintendo Direct and State of Plays, they're boring.
I hate Nintendo Directs so much. Shred's comment made me think about the Gunk as well, which was also shown last year at Xbox's showcase. And they did post something the other day on their Twitter that made me think, maybe we'll see that too. 90 minutes is a long time. So I'm pretty keen. I'm pretty keen to see how that goes. But I do have a big fat wild card big game that it's more like a hope than a think it will be.
I got nothing else left. Come on then. Stop holding them cards.
Gotham Knights.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been delayed to 2022. I think now would be a good time.
2022 is not that far out in terms of games.
Exactly. It is literally the set in a week's time, and man, that would be cool to see more of Gotham Knights.
That would be cool.
Fucking keen for that game. It looks super cool.
That's a huge brain moment for you, man. Nice.
Huge brain. Huge.
Massive noggin.
Massive noggin. Wrinkle brain.
Yeah, wrinkly wrinkles.
Other than that, I think there'll be some cool indie games, and that's
what I'm here for. New IPs.
I gotta give. Oh yeah, I gotta give it up for indie games. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best games I played this year and in the last few years, but this year, man, Narita Boy, Omno was dope. Fucking The Wild at Heart was fun.
Great until
Descent. I haven't played it anymore. I
love
something
indies.
Else. So
heaps
good.
Of them.
Aren't they just the best? They're so
Say a word,
fun.
It's probably an indie game. And it's probably all right.
Just say a random word.
Say a word.
It's Probably on
game, and if
Game
it's
Pass too.
not a bloatware, then it's probably good.
But if you have any predictions and thoughts about Gamescom opening night live, please drop them in the comments below with the prediction. Lair remake for PlayStation 5. Oof. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? It would be terrible. Astria Ascending next month on Game Pass. I don't think I even know this one, Shred. What is this? Oh,
It's a video game.
JRPG. Say what?
Oh, hell yeah. You know I love a JRPG. Hand-drawn adventure. Ooh.
Nice one.
Oh, first preview
good
one day
on
ago. Nice.
Oh, wow. It's got some cool art.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Is this
nice.
PC only on Game Pass? No, Xbox Series S, X, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Switch, PC, the whole bloody caboodle.
Oh, this is the one with the big titties. Yeah. Yep. Great.
Ah.
I just remember seeing the ad for it, and like all of the female characters had the massivest titties, and boy did they be massive titties. Everyone loves some massive titties. Don't worry about it though.
Do they?
They have like I don't know. In the ad, I remember seeing it. The main girl with the big shield and the like lance pike thing. They draw her like from underneath her titties, so they're like.
Okay.
But their logo, like the Astria Ascending thing, it's got the picture behind it is exactly like a Final Fantasy picture. You know, it's line art.
It is.
Sketchy. It's got that like peach to blue with purple in the middle fade. Like it's exactly like a Final Fantasy logo.
True. Crazy. That is weird. And yes, you're right. There are definitely very under-breast angled shots. Artworks. Yeah. Fucking hell, lads. Okay, let's move right along to... Oh, I just realized what we're talking about. Fortnite.
It's only a short one because there's not much.
It is a short one. This makes me so mad.
Yeah, I don't know how much you've seen of it apart from what I showed you. Have you seen the devs' tweets
from Among Us?
Yeah,
the Among Us devs. Yes, a little bit. Yeah. And I also heard some stuff on a podcast they were talking about it as well. And
perfect. Well, let's fucking spill the beans. Fortnite has introduced an imposter mode into the game, which is literally exactly the same as Among Us. You and a team of people are, in a facility trying to maintain it and keep it running. And one of you is an imposter and has to kill everyone else. It is literally exactly the same, to the point where the devs compared the map for the imposter mode, from Fortnite to their own map, and their comments were at least they swapped where med bay and electrical room was and put cafeteria attached to something else. The maps are flipped. They look so similar from one another. It's ridiculous.
And they spell imposters with ORS, which no one does normally. Impostors, which is the correct spelling apparently, but no one tell me they didn't just take that. It's so frustrating. Do you know what shits me the most about this is Fortnite crossover with everything, right? Well, actually, two things.
Marvel, big fucking
NBA,
money.
Star Wars, fucking that rapper, everything has been crossed over when they're fucking big money, right? Yeah. And this is there's levels to this that make me so angry. For one, they should absolutely be doing this crossover with the Among Us devs because that would be super fun for both their brands. And that would be huge for Among Us to be in Fortnite. And like that in itself would just be so sick for those developers.
Be phenomenal.
Second, phenomenal. Like that game is already huge, but this would like add more to it. Like it would be fun.
Yeah.
They could do skins based on the little jelly bean things.
Yeah, imagine if you were just running around in like a colorful spacesuit and you could get all the different colors. Like that in itself is fantastic. If you could just be a jelly bean person in Fortnite, get the little leaf hat for the head and all the other random shit that like the accessories and stuff. Like there's so much potential.
Yeah. And there's literally to me no reason why they shouldn't be doing that. And then the second part to this that makes me even more mad is because of this fucking epic Apple shit, half of this they're saying their reasoning for going to court against Apple is to support smaller developers.
Support the little guy.
Support the little guy. When really they have this opportunity to literally support the little guy. 3 people or 5 people or whatever it is who made Among Us.
Yeah.
And do this crossover. It's so upsetting. Like those developers must be fucking furious, to be honest. Like they're being so very and they're so, like they're annoyed clearly, but they're also being so respectful on Twitter about it and stuff. But like it's no need. It doesn't like yeah.
Like I don't know what sort of legal recourse you have for that as well, because like you can't, like technically it's just a genre that they've implemented in their game as like a side game sort of thing. And if you think about it, fucking Fortnite didn't start off as a battle royale. They fucking just took that idea too. Like
that's the other point, right? Like they
part and parcel. They're just fucking doing the same thing.
And when they did that, they weren't like, they were still obviously Epic Games, huge company, but they weren't the juggernaut that they were when they took Battle Royale and made it their own. And fair enough, that's fine. It's a genre on its own. That's fine. Like they don't own, like PlayerUnknown didn't own Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's fine. And this is fine as well because like it's like the theory of this is fine because that whole
it's a game mode. Like
it's that game mode is also something that's been done before, whatever it's called, Mafia or whatever. But like the fact that it is so similar to
and like almost a flipped map
Among Us. Yeah. And like, they're trying to take control of the bridge and like it's
where's your own spin?
It's like, apparently an airship as well, like in the sky. And I just think this is an opportunity for them to actually bring in a crossover that is an indie team that is absolutely crushing it, like with Among Us, but also an indie team that they could absolutely help to blow up even more by putting their game in Fortnite. And they've chosen to do it and not do that. And absolutely, it's just disgraceful. It makes me so mad.
Yeah, it really, like, the contradictory part about, like you said before, like the lawsuit for the little guy and doing this, like it just adds a whole new level of just like it's so overwhelmingly just shit. Like well, like
why
how
wouldn't
can
they
even go to court and continue with that argument now? Like clearly you're just trash bags, you're looking for the money. Fuck off. Like
when it's Star Wars, you like imagine the money they paid to get Marvel and Star Wars
and in there, like
and you would assume in comparison if they went and offered the Among Us developers, a bunch of money to kind of do a crossover, like it wouldn't be anywhere near close to that. And they're making billions of fucking dollars.
Yeah.
No way. Those developers would probably be like so
I don't think
honored to be like invited to cross over. Like
right. And like I don't see, like, you could offer them probably like a 100th of what you paid Marvel, and they would probably be like, okay, like
Yeah,
it's just a
that
completely
might pay
different
for the
level.
development of their next game
Yeah,
entirely, you know.
that's so shit. Wow, how
Mm.
shit. And like Epic, it's so annoying because like I've never really been a supporter of Epic Games for multiple reasons. I don't think that their storefront is user friendly, and that's probably like, and the security part, like the user friendliness and security part of it, is probably the thing that annoys me the most. Like, I don't give a shit that they're like a competitor. It does annoy me that they lock the games to their platform. I don't think that's a good practice, but like those things aren't really like a personal disagreement. And I feel like before this, I was coming to terms with not really caring about Epic anymore. Like I don't really like their practices, but maybe I would download Epic one day and, want to play their thing. Probably would never play Fortnite because it's not my bag, but, they give out free games and, I've got a bunch of other launches. What does another one matter? But now, like, this is so rude. Like, it is a more personal thing for people to get mad about. Like, you're screwing over the little guy. Eat my
Quite
dick.
literally. Yeah. Hold
What?
on. I think this is necessary.
Yes, that is necessary. I wish that all food turns to dirt in your mouth. Epic.
I'm keeping that there forever. That
It's
banner just in the pocket,
just
ready
in
to
case,
go.
yeah. Especially the people who came up with that idea. Who came up and sold "Let's steal Among Us. Let's not
Yeah.
pay." And how
I
many
know.
people thought, yeah, that's good. I'll develop that. I'll put that into play. Yeah. We're not paying these guys, right? I wouldn't do it if you paid them. I'll only do it if we're stealing it. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I feel so
It's
sad
fucked.
for them. Like the
It makes me
rage that
so
they
mad.
must feel.
I wonder
The
how
sad.
like if the executives made this decision, I wonder how the developers on the game feel about doing this as well. Like if they're like, shouldn't we be like doing a crossover here? We've done a crossover with every other entertainment thing of all time. Why aren't we doing a crossover with Among Us? These indie devs that,
What if there's one guy in the corner that just immediately starts working on the skin? He's super hyped, and then he shows it. And they're like, no, you can't make. That's a step too far. We've taken everything else, but we can't make a skin.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I thought we were doing a crossover." No, we're stealing this content.
No, man, no, we're not paying for that. Did you see how much money we lost this year? No.
Yeah, they got to make up for that Epic Games Store loss.
Oh,
fucking
gosh.
Bullshit. Fuck you, Tim Sweeney, you cunt.
What a jerk.
All right, speaking of cunts.
Yeah. Pussy?
Halo.
Halo.
Pussy?
Look,
Halo.
this is a very interesting topic to me because I am so divorced from the situation because I've never really played like Halo to any meaningful like matter. But I still have an opinion on this. I'd like to hear your opinion.
Sure.
First,
My opinion.
I don't know where mine sits right now.
Sure. Yeah. Look, my opinion is people on the internet in the gaming community are a bunch of fucking babies
that
need to grow up. But also, my opinion is like, I don't think they should delay Halo again. I don't think. Like, I wish that games would come out feature complete. Absolutely. I'm in the camp of like, I just wish video games would release in the best possible way with the most amount of features. And it sucks that Halo Infinite was delayed, although it's like the best thing ever for that game, as far as I can tell.
Good idea.
Best idea. But I think if something like co-op campaign isn't ready for launch, and by the sounds of like what's happening at 343 is like Joseph Staten came in to kind of steer the ship last year when everything went to hell, when they showed gameplay and they're like, oh, we're not ready to launch. Joseph Staten came in to help with development and become like head of creative across the board, across campaign and multiplayer. And I think potentially what I'm hearing online, and this could all just be bullshit, is that the game, they had to put a lot of resources into improving the game and adding like, you know, like optimizing it visually and then getting the, you know, the game to work really well, that it's just not ready. They're not ready to add in co-op campaign. And I understand why people like co-op is a huge part of Halo to people, but it's also like it's coming in 3 months after launch. Like it's coming in season 2. And even if it didn't come in season 2 and it came in later, games, unfortunately, and this is just a shit part of the industry, unfortunately, this is just how games come out. They evolve over time. But I just think like people need to shut the fuck up. The absolute like insanity that was Twitter the other day when like, and sorry, I'm just rambling here, but like,
no, that's all good.
Ainsley Bowden from Seasoned Gaming, much respect his opinion. He made a really good point on his podcast saying like the transparency they have been kind of going with is like a double-edged sword, because they're telling people what's happening and people aren't happy about it. Whereas like other companies
happy about it too.
Yeah, if they released it and there was no fucking co-op campaign, people would be like, why didn't you tell us? Blah, blah, blah. Like, whereas like the other two big shooters that are coming this year, COD and Battlefield, COD literally just got announced and it's going to be coming out in like what, a month and a half.
Yeah.
Battlefield apparently is not in a great state, but it had a closed beta, and I think there was an NDA and people can't talk about it. But like from, you know, what I've heard, you know, online is that it's not great. And like the fact that that 343 are being transparent means that it's bit them on the ass, because they're telling people, hey, this isn't coming necessarily at launch, even though they're doing the right thing by telling fans what's actually happening. And I just think that's so disrespectful to the actual developers for people to be like, nah, delay it. They're calling for they're calling for executives to like step down, and it's like, fucking get over yourselves. Like, if you don't want to play it, like, I understand being upset, like I understand being disappointed about things like this, but also like, don't be a dick. Like, if you don't want to play a game, just don't play it. Like,
just don't. The don't be a dick bit is really the integral part, because like for me, see, this is why I think it's so interesting, because like I will not play Halo when it comes out, but if it launched with multiplayer, I probably would play it with my friends. Like I have my friend Simon that I play like Dark Souls with every week. Like I would probably play it with him, and I will not play it alone. So for me, like the co-op is integral to the game. Like there's no game for me to play without the co-op. And for a lot of people, I assume it's the same thing. Like they want to experience that with their friends, that they've probably done so in the past so many times, because there always has like co-op for you to jump straight into. Like it's probably for a lot of people like the part that they love and the part that is like integral to the game. Like obviously everyone loves the PvP and the campaign otherwise, but for a lot of people, they only want the multiplayer side, and to have to wait 3 months and have it spoiled, definitely you would not be able to avoid like what's gonna happen in the story. Like
for sure.
Like it is really disappointing, and also like it's so close to release to suddenly drop that on people. I know that they are trying to be transparent, but it's it is kind of late to be transparent about that. Like, when you knew that all these things were happening and you had to delay, you could have been more transparent about it then and been like, oh, we're going to be focusing on, you know, the graphics and the single player campaign. You know, PvP comes after that. Co-op is our last priority, whatever. But they've dropped it so late. And to me, again, because I'm not incredibly invested in it, but I would like to play the co-op, I don't see how, like, you've delayed it so much already. Another 3 months, is it really going to do anything? Like, you've already missed the golden opportunity for launching with the console. Like, obviously, you want to get your launch out sooner so that people can play it, but why not delay it another 3 months? Give yourself a little bit more time, not only to work on the co-op, but to work on the graphics and, like, the single player. Maybe you could just put the PvP out and just have people, like, enjoy, like, because we saw people playing the PvP and having fun with that anyway. Like, it's not like it's a hidden secret that you have to wait until after you finish the campaign to play it. Like, you could just drop that and then drop the campaign 3 months later completely. And you could chuck in like little Easter eggs or little like teasers into like the PvP and stuff like that, and sort of kind of build it up and sort of make it like a really great community experience. Because like, for such an ongoing like franchise, it really would suck to be sort of in the position where, like, you're the second most important, you know, like, you're the second choice, the way that you prefer to play, whatever, you're off to the side now, and you might have your experience spoiled or like ruined in some way, or it's just not going to be as an enjoyable experience because you don't get to play it the way that you want to play, and you're going to have to come up against spoilers when you didn't need to, if it was timed or planned a bit better. And obviously there's so much that goes on behind the scene, but I can definitely see why people would be upset. They just don't need to be dicks about it.
Yeah. I also do get where you're coming from there. I think delaying, well, 2 points. I think having the multiplayer and the campaign released separately, I think would cause way more problems than the campaign, the co-op campaign not releasing at the time. I, for one, like, I really love just playing Halo single player first anyway, but like when Gears 5 came out, we played that together, and that was really fun to play Gears 5, even though that's really not a game that like you would usually play. Really fun to play that in co-op. But I guess the negatives outweigh the positives.
Yeah, absolutely.
In my assumption, when it comes to delaying, like, especially if, you know, they're already a year late, but like releasing at like Christmas or March, it's like you're not going to sell as many copies, you're not going to sell as many Xboxes, you're not going to get as many people subscribing to Game Pass. Like there's that whole
so many factors. I can definitely see why it would feel so sad to be on that side, and
for sure
be like, oh, you just don't give a shit about like the experience that I've been looking forward to and that I have come to expect with Halo. I have come to expect nothing, so I literally couldn't care less.
But you make a good point, right? Like, some people, that's what they expect. And like, to, you know, play devil's advocate on that side, like Halo campaigns, you know, it's kind of all about the co-op. But, well, in a way, I mean, you're Master Chief or whatever, but like co-op campaign in Halo is always really cool. But also, like, it's not like, I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence because I guess I'm in the camp of I play it on my own first anyway. It's like, you know, and I play the multiplayer a lot, but yeah, I just think like it's so funny watching the video game industry like swings and fucking roundabouts, because like literally a month ago, the discourse around Halo could not be more positive. I've never seen positivity around Halo like it was ever since 343 have taken over. And again, I'm gonna like repeat something that Ainsley said as well. Ainsley said, like, and I fucking agree with him big time on this. I know so many people disagree, but like 343 aren't like bad. Like 343 are actually fantastic. Halo 4 is my favorite Halo, and it has an incredible campaign. Halo 5, I didn't enjoy the campaign that much, but it has incredible mechanics and fucking insane multiplayer. So good. And like people just judge 343 like nothing else because they've taken what is, you know, this precious property in Halo, and you know, they've taken over it, and everyone just holds them to this standard that Bungie didn't even really hold themselves to anyway. And I came into Halo late, and I don't, you know, I can't really speak for early Halo that much.
Like,
but like, yeah, exactly. But like, you know, Halo was never perfect with Bungie, and you know, watching like retrospectives and stuff about the development of those games is like it's far from a smooth launch, even though it was gigantic at the time. But you know, it's like rose-tinted nostalgia glasses for Bungie and everything they do. Even though, look at how Destiny, the life of Destiny 1 and 2 has been like so up and down. Like
tomorrow, I'm so excited.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just think there's this unfair, like attitude towards 343. And a month ago, everyone was like, this is Halo's back, Halo multiplayer. This is the best Halo's ever felt. This is, you know, and they also went out and let people stream it, and they let people talk about the multiplayer. And Big Team Battle is literally about to be like tech previewed as well. And I guarantee it's going to flip again. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, Big Team Battle is back. And it's going to be just this fickle fucking gamers that just frustrate the fuck out of me because, like, you know, express your frustrations. That's fine. Express that you're annoyed, but don't be so excessive, and don't be rude, and like don't disrespect developers who are, for one, also dealing with a pandemic. And like clearly the game was not ready last year, and they should have delayed it way before that. But like fucking hell, it really irks me the way people act, and like even like big content creators and like big and small content creators were really like they were hanging off this, obviously, to get clicks. And you know, good for them for wanting to get clicks, but you know, have some self-respect. You fuckers.
I have one more thing to say about it though.
Please.
Every time this happens, it makes me mad because I just don't like and don't want any more fucking like this is the way games is now. Like it shouldn't be the way games is, you know? Like I should get my full game when it comes out. So every time it happens, I hate you just a little. I don't care what the reason is. Fuck you. Like whatever.
I don't want
Don't do that. I don't want it. I want my package. I'm paying for a package. Deliver me the package. Expansions separate. Like stop cutting my content and putting it in later. Eat dirt forever.
One second.
One second.
I absolutely agree, and that's, you know, a point that is I want to be clear about. I wish this wasn't the way video games were. I wish I don't know how to fix it, unfortunately. That would be nice if I had all the answers, but like I wish video games, you know, and this is where I got to give Sony a lot of respect, is like most of the games they release, especially their single player games, and yes, they're again single player, they're not covering like 50 million bases. And also,
maybe that's what needs to be done. Maybe you gotta fucking dial it back a second so you can deliver.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm hoping from things like Fable and Perfect Dark and, Outer Worlds 2 and like these games that, are coming to Xbox in the future is like, I want these single player games that they do to really nail that one aspect of what they have to do. Because I mean, Ghost of Tsushima, incredibly highly polished game. It released multiplayer later on, but like no one expected that.
Yeah,
no one
nobody asked for it.
Yeah.
Like no one was fucking beating down the doors, being like, "Where's my multiplayer?"
Yeah,
they just added it later. That's a bonus. It wasn't
literally
part of my
and free.
got removed.
And
like,
yeah, exactly. It was never even spoken about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely am on that side of like make video games to release in a proper
as
state.
a whole.
Look at Cyberpunk.
My god, Cyberpunk. Did you see that mod that rebalanced like the whole game? Hilarious.
No.
Someone like created this absolutely massive mod, rebalances literally everything. But it can I think you have to dump all your gear, and like it can break your save file, obviously, because it's just a modder. But people again went nuts and were like, if a modder can do this, why can't fucking City Projekt Red, you pieces of then they went like off on like you guys are pieces of shit for not being able to deliver this when one modder can. Obviously, two completely different situations, because a modder is modding a complete thing. Maybe not completely complete in that case, but like they're modding something that's already been created, as opposed to like building and balancing from the ground up. But it's just so interesting how much how like Cyberpunk is just such a perfect example for problems in gaming. Crazy.
And hubris, and like they released a patch this week and they had a live stream to talk about it. It's like, shut up, don't live stream, go away.
I hear about
no
it.
one cares.
I'm not going to play that game for like
game.
a few years until it's okay. Like,
and that makes me so sad, because I really do like the game.
Yeah.
But I was so burned. And
even just the little things. Let me change my look. How are you gonna have a Cyberpunk game where you can't change your look when it's also so focused on your look? Fuck off. No. So weird. So whatever.
That quote just works. It just works. Just like Todd Howard. Well, Kat, thanks for letting me rant at you for like 10 minutes there. I really, I can't even get what I need to say out in the way I need to say it, though, because I have so many like feelings in my head about it.
We're therapy.
But yeah.
Me and chat, we're the therapy for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for letting me vent my frustrations. And better dick physics, please. Because, when it's hanging out of your pants and you got pants on, that's not. That's fixie clipping. Please.
When it's cold.
Yeah.
Come on, Red Dead had it fine. Gosh.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, Kat. Thank you so much for joining me on this very long podcast. We really made up for missing a week.
Well, that's what you do.
Hey, tell the fine viewers and listeners where they can find you.
You can find me at twitch.tv/CapCat. Right there. We will be playing this week, if I can get it working, finishing the Ascent, or if I can get it working again, Ghost of Tsushima with the Icky expansion. All that
dope.
I fucking love that game, so I really want to do that. There's a lot of games as well that I'm really excited for coming out, like lots of little indies and stuff like that. So like we're going into good quick times. But whatever it is that I'm playing, you'll be in for a treat. So catch me at twitch.tv/CapCat. I'll be there.
Catch ya, girl. All right. And thank you, everybody, for watching us live. Appreciate y'all. Thanks everybody for checking out the VOD after the fact at youtube.com/directgaming. And if you are listening on the audio version at anchor.fm/controllers and coffee. And if you want to find us on the podcast platform of choice, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Castbox or something that exists, right? 5-star review would really help us out. And subscribe to us there. And again, I'll repeat what I said at the start of the show. If you would love to help us make this show better for you, email us at controllersandcoffee@gmail.com or leave a comment down below. Suggest, hey, do more of this, or talk about Halo less, or
Make more
no,
lists.
that ain't going to happen. See you, Shred. See you, everybody. And yes, Psychonauts 2 is coming out tomorrow. I'm still going to play the first game first before I play it. But thanks, everybody, for listening and watching to episode 39 of the podcast. We'll talk to you again soon. We say see you next week. Peace out.
Bye.